Boise's Basque community is vibrant and thriving, but how's the food? Before recently, I had no idea. But then our host, Emma Arnold, took me out to the Basque block for the first time to try croquetas, the chorizo, and the cocktails. So, what was it like for me to discover all of this? You'll see. It's Wednesday, November 8th. I'm Evelyn Avitia, in for Emma Arnold, and this is what Boise's talking about.
Hi, Evelyn.
Hi, Emma.
So this was your first time trying Basque food ever. What was your first impression?
It was. I am not a very adventurous eater. I like to stay in my comfort zone. So, of course, I'm eating a lot of Mexican or American type of food.
Which is a good comfort zone. That's a good place to stay, honestly, is Mexican food for sure.
I'm not complaining. But I've always wanted to try Basque food. And so I was really, really excited to go try a meal. And I actually really enjoyed it.
It's funny. I always forget that you're such a Caldwell girl, that it doesn't matter that Boise is that close, that you don't really come here a ton. Because I feel like I don't know how you grow up in the Treasure Valley without ever like trying Basque food. Because it just seems to me like it was such an integral part of my upbringing, of my childhood. I'm not Basque, but I have Basque family that married into our family, and I grew up around a lot of like the Basque community here has a huge presence, and I grew up around the food and the dancing. My cousins did the Basque dancing. We went to we went to the festivals in the summer and stuff. And I just, it's so funny to me that you were so close and you never ever tried it.
I mean, it was just never an opportunity. Like, it wasn't presented to me. And so now, me being a young adult, I'm like, okay, I'm going to get out there and be more adventurous and try new things.
So this little introduction that you did to Basque food, what spots did you try?
So I've always heard people talking about Bar Guernica.
Me specifically. You're talking me constantly, yeah.
Of course, you and Frankie talking about it all the time. And I feel like it's just such a staple in the Boise community. And I've always heard people hanging out there and getting food there and getting drinks there. And so, of course, I went to go try that spot first. I invited two of my friends who have never had Basque food either. And so the three of us are walking in there and we're like, oh, okay, where's the door? Like, how do we get in here? Honestly, we were nervous. We're like, I don't know what to expect. And who do we see sitting out on the patio? Any guesses?
In my usual spot.
It was Emma. Emma was sitting out there and I was like, oh my God, thank God. I was like, Mom, how do I get in here?
Yeah. And I was like, it's a little crowded, but there's tables inside. That was very cute seeing you. And I get, honestly, Bar Guernica is a tiny, tucked away spot that if it's your first time walking into that spot, I can see why you'd be a little intimidated because it's always packed and they're always so busy, and the service is great. The servers are wonderful, but they're always so busy. You kind of a little have to self-direct. Like you have to be like, okay, I'm over here, I'm sitting here. Like when we sat outside, went in and was like, there's two for outside. And they're like, thank you, we're so busy. So I get that. But what did you think? I think it has such a great atmosphere personally, but what did you and your gals think?
Totally. That's something I'm not used to. It was just a very chill vibe. And one of my friends, I've never been to Europe, but she told me it really had that hangout presence of you're just, grabbing a meal with friends and you're taking your time and you're enjoying your meal and you're not rushed, is how she described it. And I was like, yeah, I agree.
Yeah. So so it's cute inside. It does feel very European. And I would say the same thing about a couple of the other Basque places. They've done such a good job of transporting you. But what did you eat? Describe what you guys got.
Yes. So we ordered a cheese plate and it had 3 different types of cheeses, a baguette, some nuts, and some kind of jam, which was really, really good. I love a good cheese board. And then we ordered a lamb grinder, a chicken grinder, and a chorizo sandwich.
Nice.
All with the croquetas, of course. And I just loved how seasoned and how much flavor there was, like with the peppers and the grilled onions. Like it was so, so good. I really had no idea what to expect. I'm telling you, I was so nervous. I was like, what am I going to get? And I was hoping my food would be seasoned. Thank God it was. There was a lot of flavor in there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Basque food is very flavorful. Well, that night, part of the reason I went is because I've been going to Bar Garnica since I was a kid, basically a teenager. And I always get the same thing. I always get the salomo and croquetas, always. And I this time was like, okay, I'm going to try a couple other things. So I also got the cheese plate, which was phenomenal. And I got the chorizo sandwich, which was so good. I can't believe I never got it before. I was like, what's wrong with me?
Good. I was shocked. That chorizo was so good. I can't explain it.
So perfect. I mean, and that's, the basis of Basque food. If you're like, what is Basque food? It's like peppers, onions, and extremely flavorful cured meats, which I just feel like you can't go wrong with. Did you get drinks? What about wine and stuff?
Yes. So we got the calimochos. I love Coke. And I'm not a big red wine girl. And so I was a little nervous to see what that would taste like, but it was really good. I get the hype.
I mean, I don't drink, obviously, but I always see they've got the cutest little cocktails and stuff coming out, and everything looks so, so good.
Maruchan superfans are everywhere. From the busy moms who want to deliver maximum flavor in a flash to dorm room diners who want to put some slurp in their step. There are a ton of copycats you could use. But if you want to bless your bowl, there's only one true Maruchan. Whether you choose instant lunch, ramen bowls, yakisoba, or restaurant quality gold, Maruchan is the only ramen worth obsessing over. Smiles for all. Maruchan. See what all the ramen hype is about at maruchan.com.
So the friend I was with was from LA, had never had Basque food before. They were in town for a show, and I was like, you have to try the croquetas. And he's very well traveled, has tried lots of things. And he was like, what is a croqueta? And I was like, well, it's like a fried ball of gravy. And he's like, that sounds disgusting. And I was like, I'm not doing it justice. I'm not doing it justice. And like, every Basque place has croquetas. They all do them a little differently, but I think the general consensus is that like they're a fave. Like for me, they're one of my. I always get croquetas when I go to the Basque block. But did you like them? Were you crazy about them?
Yeah, I was very interested. Like when I took a bite, I was like, what is this? Like I couldn't figure out. Is it cheese? Is it potato? Like what is in there?
Magic. Yeah. Who knows?
But it was really good. Yeah, I mean, I was really shocked. We were like trying to eat, and then we take a bite of our croqueta, and it was like burning hot. Like it would just take in so much heat, and we're like, okay, let's wait. But they had this like sauce on the side.
Tiger sauce.
Yeah, what was that?
The most perfect spicy sauce in the world. Yeah.
That was so good. It went really, really well with it.
Yeah, my friend was a convert. He had one and then was like, okay, you shouldn't tell people these are fried balls of gravy because that's not fair to what they are.
Yeah.
They're delicious. And I was like, you're right. Sorry.
I think they're really good. They do deserve the hype that they're getting. And I know that there's so many different versions to make the croquetas. So I don't know. I like the ones that Bar Garnica has for sure. But I definitely want to try more.
Well, so Bar Garnica, croquetas and chorizo stood out to you. Is that right? Like two top favorites?
For sure.
Yeah, for sure. What about ansats? I know you tried ansats, and so did I. I went and grabbed a sandwich there. Ooh. What did you get, and did you love it?
Okay, so I walked in, and I take my little seat, and my server is so amazing. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to let you choose my plate. And she was like, okay. And so she picked out the eggs purgatory. I'm a big fan of eggs. It was during brunch time, so I was okay with a meal like that. And so the eggs in purgatory are 2 eggs simmered in Amuma's tomato and garlic and pepper sauce. And then it's topped with the manchego cheese and parsley. And it comes with garlic toast. And then we added Basque bacon on the side. I loved it. Like I said, I'm a big fan of eggs, especially when they're just full of flavor. So I would recommend that. However, the bacon, I was not a fan.
You didn't like? No?
No, I did not like the Basque bacon.
I think I think almost calling it bacon sort of sets up the American expectation of what it's going to be, because I feel like if it was called something else, you wouldn't have that thought in mind already of like, this is going to be bacon, and because it definitely tastes very, very different.
Yeah.
I really like the Basque bacon, but again, I kind of grew up on it. And the cool thing about ansatz is they actually make all their cured meats in-house. Like they make everything.
Really?
And all, I don't know if all, but most of the recipes are the chef Dan. Those are his grandmother's, his amuma. Amuma is Basque for grandmother.
Oh, okay.
Those are his grandmother's recipes, which I think is so, so amazing and so sweet. And also one thing I love about ansatz, I had the chorizo sandwich there also, not to be, but I just kind of had to know. But it was super, super good. And they had a really yummy soup. It had clams in it. I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was totoro. It was so delicious and so great. But one of the things I really love about ansatz that you don't always get at Granica, since Granica is sort of everybody kind of coming through, but ansatz, a lot of time there's a ton of Basque people in there actually sitting around, sitting around playing checkers or whatever, just kind of hanging out and eating. And you can hear a ton of the Basque language, Euskara, being spoken there. And as a kid, I grew up hearing that. Now, not speaking. I think I know like 5 words. I know how to say hello, kaisho, and I know how to say poop and pee, obviously, cheech and bubbo.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
and topa, which is, cheers. That's what you say when you're drinking together. So, but it's so fun to be sitting somewhere. And ansatz has that very European feel of hearing this other language, and the food is just so unique. Did you have it? Did you try any? I guess you went for brunch, but their desserts are also phenomenal.
No, I didn't. But I love that the chef's inspiration is his grandma, because that's exactly how my meal felt. I felt like I was going over to my grandma's house and she had just made me this amazing breakfast or brunch.
Oh, I love that. That's a very good way to describe it in there, as it feels like you're at your amuma's house. And I think Dan would love to hear that. Also, I'm gonna specifically say, if you are looking for probably the best dessert you've ever had, Basque cheesecake is so unique and so delicious. And I think a lot of people who aren't Basque just think it's like regular cheesecake, but it's like very special and very tasty. So you went to Bar Guernica and you went to ansatz. Was there anywhere else? Did you ever try anywhere else?
I wanted to go try the Basque market. My server, she told me, my ansatz server, she was like, that is the place to go if you want to get the best cheeses for a cheese board. So I walked over to the Basque market, and it was Friday at noon, and it was super, super full because they were doing their paella on the patio. And so it looked delicious. There was a long line of people waiting. They were doing online orders, and they had a huge wait list. So unfortunately, I didn't get any, but I really want to try it out. Have you tried it before?
I have. I mean, we had their paella quite a bit when I was a kid. And as a kid, I didn't like it. I was always like not that into seafood, which if you're not familiar with Basque food, it's really built around seafood. And as a kid, I didn't like that. But as an adult, I've obviously like my palate changed, and I've been like, yeah, this is amazing. But my go-to at the Basque market is their meatballs. Crazy about their meatballs. They have such good. They don't have them every day. It's part of their tapas menu. Sometimes they have them, sometimes they don't. But those are so good. And their calamari is really good. I'm trying to think what else. I mean, and their cheese. I mean, you could spend $1 million and half your life picking out cheeses there, because there truly are so many things to choose from. And again, boy, those Basque people have figured out cured meats. They're the kings and queens of cured meats for sure. So
yeah.
Okay. I'm not trying to pick a fight here, just so you know, but I want to know, how does Basque food compare to Mexican food for you? What do you think?
Oh, that's like, it's not a fair fight. I'm telling you, Mexican food has my whole heart. It's my soul. It's what I'm comfortable with, of course. However, Basque food is getting up there. I'm going to add it into my top list of cultural foods that I have enjoyed, because it was really good. And the funny thing is, my dad has been wanting to try Basque food forever, which is so random to me. I don't know where he got this idea from, because if I'm in my comfort zone, he's in his comfort zone. So I definitely have some places to take him.
Oh, I love that. How cute. You and your dad on a little Basque date. I love that. That's very sweet.
Yes.
Well, what do you think? We did it. You did it. You tried it. How would you rate it? And do you recommend Basque food to other people?
So 10 out of 10, there are more Basque places that I need to try. I will for sure go to Boise. I'll make the trip and go and try.
Wow, that's a big recommendation. Just so your listeners know, Evelyn saying I'll make the trip to Boise is like, that is a huge 10-star review right there.
Yeah, I think it's worth it. It's for sure.
All right, thanks, Evelyn. Thanks for being an adventurous eater for us.
Thanks, Emma. That's all for today here on CityCast Boise. If you enjoyed the show, why not leave us a review? We'll be back tomorrow morning with our analysis of local election results. Bye!